Hey, this morning I'm in Pocahontas State Park. It's just south of Richmond, Virginia. And if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, you probably already know about this new leave climate on function on my Tesla. But if you're not, go ahead to any web browser and type in a plantbaseddiet.org. Or sorry, no, that's not it. That's my nonprofit. Type in adigitalnomad.net. That's adigitalnomad.net into any browser. You'll go to my YouTube channel. You can find out what that is. But it's kind of cool because it's in the 30s right now. And I left the heat on in my car. I can do that because it's electric. And you can understand how that works if you look at the YouTube channel. But it's really neat, so I won't be freezing when I get back to my car. Right away, it'd be like walking indoors. Anyway, this park is just south of Richmond, Virginia. I can hear a little bit of highway drone in the background. I'm right in the middle of it. And I'm heading down to this lake, doing this loop that's right in the middle of the park. And in order to do that, you have to pay to get in. It's a $5 entrance fee, and if nobody's there, they use the honor system. It's only open daylight hours to use that main gate, which is where I came in, so just note that. You can pay with check or cash, I think, if no one's there. Okay, well, here's the lake I was telling you about. Pretty cool. You see the little steam coming off the lake with the sunrise, because like I said, it's in the 30s. This is Beaver Lake. And the trail doesn't seem to come right up to Beaver Lake. So I've actually had to walk through the woods a little bit off trail in order to get here. Doesn't seem like there's any boating or anything in this lake, which is nice. There's the lake off the trail. Well, as it turns out, there is lake access. You're not going to be able to see the sunrise on this side. I was over there on the right, and I had that other video and some pictures I was taking. But this is it on this side, and it's pretty nice here. You can see at the bottom of Beaver Lake, you've got the spillway. It looks a little nicer than usual. They usually make them out of concrete. They've got, it's probably made out of concrete underneath, but at least a stone veneer. And then down to another footbridge that I'm going to cross over right now. Now I'm on what's called the Powhatan Trail. It's a little bit confusing as to how to get here from Beaver Lake, but you do just cross the road if you're trying to follow my route here. And when you cross the road, you'll see a fire lane or fire road sign, and then you actually turn right and just stay on that path. Right here, it looks like this is, I don't know if it's another part of Beaver Lake. It's downstream from it, but it opens up again. The trail goes right by, you know, another lake here. Looks pretty cool. Look at all those lily pads out there. A lot of them. All right, this is actually where we break up the Powhatan Trail and go over to this Lakeview Mountain Bike Loop Trail. It's a giant loop, and actually it's supposed to be one of the best ones in the park, which is why I'm going on it. Made for mountain bikers, bikers to the right away. Okay. Hopefully I won't see anybody here. It's 9 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. Not a holiday. And what's really nice and interesting about these mountain bike trails is that they're far from straight. They're much narrower. Well, actually, they're kind of like I guess they're kind of like single track hiking trails, but there's a lot of twists and turns in them. So it keeps it interesting. Got a little stream crossing here. And now we're right up here at the beginning of the loop. You can go around either way. I think I'm going to go around to the right, counterclockwise. And you can definitely tell these are mountain bike trails here. The curves are banked a little bit, see? Not sure if you can hear animals running, but about the only wildlife I've seen here outside of a few bird sounds is squirrels. I haven't seen any deer. And I have seen some no hunting signs. There's one. So I'm guessing there's hunting at some places in this park, I don't know, at some times of the year. That may be explaining the absence of deer. Alright, this is where I am, and actually this is where I started my Strava. I actually began all the way up here and went around the lake and things, but unfortunately I realized that somehow I paused my Strava, and so it's only going to get half the distance, if that I've actually walked or hiked. But if you look at the maps, you can kind of figure out where I went. Okay, here's another map. I'm over here now. So just a summary of what I did. I actually parked over here. I walked this way, and there's this beaver lake. I walked around the lake, came down here, crossed the road, and then went up here, looped around to get to here. I'm gonna keep looping around. Then I'm gonna head back. This is like an out and back portion. I'll probably try to get on the red trail here. It's easier and it's a shorter distance, and then back to the parking lot. Actually, I do see some deer. See it way down in the water there. This looks like some kind of a boat launch or something like that. They're starting to walk away. You see them go? There's a whole bunch of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm getting close to being back to the parking lot, and I think I mentioned in this video earlier that I left the heat on in my Tesla, because you can do that now. You can use the keep climate on function, but I turned it off a little bit more than halfway through this hike because I realized how warm I am right now, and I'm glad it kept it warm through about half the hike. And hopefully it'll be just right for me when I get back, having turned it off. Well, I just had a long hike here on a pretty cold morning, so I'm gonna make some hot quinoa in the front of my Tesla here. I keep the quinoa back in here, in the very back. There's like a secret compartment. You probably know about it anyway. You can lift up on here, and I store all kinds of things, protein supplements. There's a shelf on the back too. See, I can put a box and some other things. I got some containers back in there too. That shelf is not present in the 6 and 7 seat versions, but in the 5 seat version it is. keep my car cover over here, and some quinoa. I'll be using this. So this particular rice cooker actually comes with the measuring thing. It's 1 cup, and you're not supposed to use any less than 2 cups in this one. Specifically, it says not to do that. And on the instructions, it doesn't really give instructions for quinoa, but for rice, you're supposed to pre-soak it, pre-wash it. I can't do that. You're supposed to put, I think, like a little more than half a cup extra water per equal amount of water per rice. And for quinoa, it's double. So I already put 3 cups in there. Had 2 cups of quinoa, so I'm going to put 5 cups total of water in here, and then cook it on the brown rice setting. So as you can see, I got my power inverter hooked up. I've got other videos on how to do that. I've got all the water and quinoa in, so you just close the lid, make sure it latches, and turn it on, which is this button, I believe, right here. And then hit brown rice, which that's white rice. And brown rice is right there. That's it. And we just wait, should be about 15 minutes. It's already starting up. You can hear that's actually the fan in my power inverter. It tells me how much capacity it's at right now. You can see the stuff is really cooking. Look at the steam coming out of it. Just gotta make sure nothing's right next to, well, there is something next to it. It's not that hot, actually. It's not hot at all. It should be done soon. Here's how you tell. You look in the front and it says cooking. It'll say keep warm when it's done cooking. It'll move to keep warm. Hopefully that'll be soon. Okay, and when it's done, that's what it looks like. You gotta let it cool down. If you know anything about quinoa, you know that this stuff really keeps its heat for a long time, so you gotta let it cool down before you eat it. Make sure you do that so you won't burn your mouth.